it's Jenny from the Cross Stitch Emporium. It's been a week, it's a little over a week since I've seen you last. What's been going on? So let's dive in. I am the shopkeeper of the Cross Stitch Emporium. It's my baby. A lot of things have happened over the last year, and some of you have been with me the entire way. Some of you have been with me since I was a new stitcher back in the day, 5 years ago, when I decided to take up stitching. But lots of shadows. Like, it is so super bright here. I don't know. I'm not going to win with the light today. Probably not going to win with the noise either. We've got the last of the construction crews that are supposed to be showing up in a little bit to install the pellet stove out in the pole barn. I've got cable guys being laid out front. This has nothing to do with us. It just happens to be that they have now finally reached our house. And so my dogs are, they're lots of barking. So I might have to stop a couple times. I hope not. I really need to get this done and uploaded and focus on, I've got 2 sleeps and I had to market. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I cannot tell you. So Annie, the proper stitcher, Susan, Sweet Wing, Rebecca and Beth from My Sister Sampler, Shelly from Antique Needleworkers, Colleen, Rebel Stitcher, Chrissy from Finally a Farm Girl. Because we have all been chit-chatty, like here and there and back and forth, and I'm just so excited. I got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about market, and I'm going to talk about, I wrote some things down to make sure I didn't like forget or say weird numbers or things didn't make sense. I've been up since 3 a.m. this morning because I'm so excited. I mean, I woke up going, oh, I got a couple more things to do today and I'm ready for market. I mean, I'm ready as one can be, but I haven't packed. I gotta do some little bit of laundry here and there. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the Cross Stitch Emporium. We are we're located in Sheridan, Wyoming. We are online, in a box, in a shop. So I am coming up on my 1-year anniversary for being online. I mean, so much has changed. My confidence level has changed. My ability to think through, a problem with an order. There haven't been too many, but there's been a couple here and there, and how I've handled it, and was it the right way to handle it? I always want the customer to know that I value and appreciate them. So, there's that balance, right? Like, do I give away the shop or do I? Anyways, it's just a balance. And for those of you that are people pleasers like me, you know that there's a balance in how you do that. So I don't know, it was just a moment, I guess. So we were online March 13th. That was my first order. My first order was my sister Nancy. My second order was my friend Shelly from Antique Needleworkers. So that's always a fun thing. And then Missy and Kathy and from Two News Pulling Thread, Teresa from Garden Goose, my friend Tammy, my friend Andrea. We don't have Foss Tube channels, but if you hang out with us, you know about them. My first in a box was Stitching on the Prairie. My friend Shelly from Prairie, most of you know her as Prairie Fire Stitcher. I was her first retreat. It was so much fun. I didn't know what I was doing. I was scared to death, but it was amazing. And then let's talk about in a shop. I will run out if the workers aren't here yet when I'm done with this, and I will upload a video of where we are with the pole barn and kind of the things we still have to do. I've learned I'm not a very fabulous painter, so I've got to go do some touch-up work. But it's soon. It's so very soon. We are working with the courthouse right now, or the county, which is the courthouse, where they live, or where they work. We have permits we have to get. So I think it's going to take a little longer to open than I thought. But as soon as the building is turned over to us, I can then move out there and I will be out of the bedroom. So if you are willing to come for a local pickup, I'll be here. If you still want me to ship things, I'm happy to do that too. But a local pickup will be available option for you soon. Meaning the shop will be open for you to look and to be here. But we technically won't be open. So, because I need the permits. I need the right permits to be on the right side of right. Yeah, that's just say it like that. I want to be on the right side of right. We were given a couple options. I didn't like any of them except to be on the right side of right. So that's, I think, the kernel in me. Like, I want things done correctly. I don't want any backlash. I don't want to be shut down. I don't want anybody harmed. So there's all these things that have been in my mind, you know, operational checklist that I just want to make sure are right. And we can do hard things and we can do the work, but we're doing it. So it's not as fast as I want, but I think it'll be within the next 60 days ish, fingers crossed. All right, until then, if you are a supporter of this adventure of mine, I would love it if you would like and subscribe. Maybe even drop a comment, even if it's just a heart emoji. I would really appreciate that, because that gives me the exposure that I need to kind of keep things moving along. Any proceeds that come off of this channel right here go right into the shop. The deposit is linked right to my checking account that is that's the business account for this. So it doesn't go into my personal account. So I appreciate that. And then it just allows me to go find new designers, new project bag makers, new tools, things that some of you have been great about telling me about. So I had recently somebody say, hey, have you heard about needle and moss? And I hadn't. So last week I found myself emailing Needle and Moss Michelle, and I love her designs. And I think I'm one of her first orders online. She will not be at market. Her charts will be at market through Hoffman. So, but I got to, like, my order's in, and she's going to mail it to me, I think tomorrow or Thursday. It didn't matter because I didn't need it till I got home from market anyways, but it was so fun. So I appreciate those comments. If you see something and you're like, send it to me. I can't always promise that I'll carry it in full stock, but I would love to be exposed to it and keep it down for when there's some little extras. I can like go and purchase things and add things. I'm not a big tool person. I have my select things of tools I like, but I want tools if you need tools. Like, I need to be exposed to them. So please don't be afraid to drop a comment and let me know. All right. Market. Because I was at market. Okay, so in all fairness, I had a procedure done last week, and it kind of knocked me on my butt a little bit. Like, nothing was wrong per se. It wasn't like a major health thing, but anyways, I just didn't snap back as fast as I thought I would. So, and I needed to get like pre-orders in, and I tried to do like as many pre-orders as I could. I missed one. So, but I think I'll be okay. I'm a small order with that shop that I missed, so I think I'll be okay. But pre-orders are in. And then I got to thinking, oh, did I do that? And I had to go back and look. So I've got a huge spreadsheet, which is the same spreadsheet I used last year. My friend Missy from Two Needles Pulling Thread is coming with me to market. And yeah, like my market, when I looked at my little budget last year, I thought it was so much money. I was so nervous. I spent a little more than what I actually had on the spreadsheet, because when you get there in the market and you see things. And then I had to go back and reorder. Like, I did not order Rosewood Manor, or celebrations from Rosewood Manor until May. I think May is when I got all involved in that one, because I missed her room. I didn't really feel 100% last year at market, and so anyways, I had to. This year I'm feeling better, and I don't have a cold. I'm not dealing with that. I was so scared to make anybody sick last year at market. It was so funny. I called all my friends. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I have a cold. It's not COVID. I was tested for influenza A, B, and COVID, and it just came back. They were like, it's viral. Sorry. So I was high on Dayquil, trying not to breathe on anybody last year. I didn't give a lot of hugs last year because I was like, I don't want to breathe on anybody. Anyways, market. So I spent I was on budget for about $2,700. I'm a little over that this year, but it's okay, because I know how to budget for. I have got 6 retreats coming up, and so a lot of the new releases I think will carry me through most of those. And then there's August. Like, August is market, so is the online market. So I'm pretty confident that I'm gonna have a good supply of charts. I've I've got a pre-order. I've got an order in with Grace Notes, and I will putting in an order here today or tomorrow with Cedar River to make sure I have the linen I need to get through those events and to sustain the next few shows, which we'll talk about here in a minute. So I've been in business for a year now, and I'm pretty confident about things. Like, not an expert, still making like some shoddy choices in some areas, but for the most part, I feel like I've got a rhythm, and I understand, like, I'm not calling weeks to beg them to send something because I didn't realize I wasn't going to get anyways, little things like that. Like, I've got the relationships and accounts established so I can get things. All right. So market. I don't know what my budget was supposed to be. I'll be honest. I told Steve when I went into this, I didn't know. And he was like, it's okay. Let's figure it out. And so we're going to do some analytics. I know who the big sellers are. I know who I have to reorder all the time. I know when you go out to the webpage, it says sold out. And I haven't got them filled back in because they're a little harder for some designers than others. If they sell through Hoffman or Yarn Tree or ICG, it's pretty easy and they're pretty reliable. Stacy Nash is quick. Hands-on Design, quick. Finally a Farm Girl, quick. Antique Needleworkers, quick. Proper Stitcher, quick. Sweet Wing, quick. Like, there are some people who just, you call them, you send them a text, you send them an order, and it's in the mail the next day. Hoffman and Yarn Tree are the same way. There are some designers that are a little harder. I sold a lot, like Jeanette Douglas, she's out of Canada. She was really quick to refill my order when I sold out last year. So I'm not mad about some things, but there's just some designers you're just not going to get as quickly. So I'm learning to maybe buy a little more here, buy a little less there. Anyways, and I'm really trying to bring in new designers because, somebody gave me a chance, so I want to give them a chance. And I get to give them a chance, like, if I don't like it, I'm not bringing it in the shop. You need to know that. And sometimes I just, my blindness doesn't allow me to see things that you might see that I might need to know about. So please, again, just send me a comment, send me an email. Happy to dive into it. Happy to form that relationship. Happy to establish that account because it's important. For me, it is. All right. So let's talk about a new designer. She's not new to me, but she's new to the shop as of August market. So that's Love Poppet. I don't remember where maybe I did see her at market the first time. She's a UK designer. Her name is Claire. Yes, Claire. It's Claire. I'm 100% sure it's Claire. Anyways, she was a great seller for me at the end of last year when I brought her into the shop. In fact, I ordered from her at market. I did a reorder. I do have a source to do that from. I do have to pay some tariffs when it comes in, so that's like, but it's okay because it's worth it for me. In my opinion, it's worth it to bring them to you. All right, so new to me, I restocked Night Riders. Oh, that ring light's gonna be the death of me. So she was a huge seller at Halloween, and I tried to just buy it once, right? I restocked Winter Moon. I think that's just a cute finish. I restocked Blackbird at Dawn. Oh, Tiny Modernist has a Blackbird. I hope she's got it at market. I'm sure she will. It's fabulous. I'm so excited. She put it out in February as a Valentine, but I think he's a perfect little stitchy bird. And so I'm hoping it's at market. Wren and Snowdrops. We didn't get snowdrops this year. I think we're right to tulips budding. This has been the craziest winter for us. Dreaming of Summer. Is that not the sweetest little cottage? Look at those flowers. I love them. Guys, she charts in DMC. Now, I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of colors in this chart. And it's on 32 count. Even weave, but that would look pretty on that mellow yellow I've got in the mellow yellow. It's a mellow something. Maybe it's just mellow. Hang on. Oh, I don't have any 16 count left. Nope, I don't. Ooh. All right, I got lots of 32. All right, it'll be pretty on that. It's just got a little bit. Oh, I got two of those right here. Oh, I got three. Oh, here we go. I restocked Floral Butterfly. That's a beautiful spring one. This has been around a couple years, obviously, since it's 2024, but I think it's just a pretty one. And if you know what, you don't like the dull, again, it's DMC. Just take it up a notch or two. Pull, this is what I do, and I'll show you that in a couple of my stitches over here. I pull the call for, and then I adjust from there. Because if I pull the call for, I mean, I know I like the pattern. I know I like kind of what I see, but if I want it brighter, like I think I'd want a brighter pink and blue. Because I'm really not into that antique rose pink color. Though I say that, I'm going to show you some fabric here in a minute, and you're going to be like, oh, Woodland Moon. This one makes me very happy. And Life is Sweet. Now my friend Missy is not going to stitch that mouse. But look at that cup of strawberries and those flowers. I love it. He's adorable. He's a ball cap. We're going to say he. He's picking flowers. All right, so new to me, prior to market, love Poppet. I love her. I love her stuff. And she's so sweet. Don't fall. Okay. All right. What's next? Let's talk about my retreat. All right. 307 stitch. This was born out of my friend Misty. When we very first started our floss tube, she's from Wyoming. Her family lives in Glen Rock. She lives over in Utah. She came home, we'll say home because that's where her mom is, and put on a retreat here in Casper, Wyoming. It was the best. Nancy and I had the best time. Our friend Amy has since joined us on most of our retreats. Oh, it's just been amazing. And so Misty decided that it was time that she did something different. And so she stepped away from 307 or Crazy Woman retreat here. And she did others too, but you know, Crazy Woman's the one here in Wyoming. So I was like, well, I have a store. I'll do the retreat. Unbeknownst to me, that in the middle of this, our friend Leslie was willing to step in and host a retreat in Casper still. Same time frame. So we have lots of, but I feel like because I'm like 20 miles from the Montana border. Maybe 20 miles. Yeah. 20, 21, I don't know. Not that far. Like we're just south of the Montana border. Here's Montana, here's Sheridan, right? So I'm getting a lot of Montana ladies. I'm so excited. I say ladies, I don't have any men registered yet. So I'm gonna go with ladies. So I don't know, I'm excited. So, but let's talk about 307 stitch. It's a 2-day retreat. Here's why I picked 2 days. Here's my thought process behind that. We live in Sheridan, Wyoming. We have Billings Airport is a 2-hour drive. So Billings is 2 hours. Denver is 6. About 6 hours from the Denver airport. Not quite 6, but almost 6 hours. But it's a straight shot, really. Like you're gonna leave the Denver airport, you're gonna drive up a few miles to get on 25. Like leave the Denver airport, take the interstate to 25, and then you're gonna drive to 25 ends. 25 ends at 90. Like this. 90 goes across Wyoming like this, in the top corner. If you are at the top of 25, you can go left to Sheridan or you can go right to Gillette. If you go to Gillette, you're going to be an hour and a half from Sheridan. If you go left to Sheridan, you're going to be 30 minutes from Sheridan. So it's super easy. So if you're one of those people that like to fly in an obscure airline type thing and they only come into certain spots, go into Denver. And make a stop on the way up at Colorado Cross Stitcher. Sherry's got a fabulous shop. Just saying. And then come to the retreat. If you go into Billings is fun. It's got a lot of shopping, a lot of quilt stores. And then come 2 hours south. And again, you're going to get on 90 and you're going to drive right to Sheridan. You don't have to make a lot of interchanges. It's a straight shot. Those would be the 2 places I would fly into, either Denver or you can fly into Casper. Again, Casper is a small airport just like Sheridan is. But there's limited space to come in. So if you're not a driver and you want to fly directly into the airport, come into Sheridan. Like I said, it's small. We're a kind of a big tourist, outdoorsy type place that people like to come into during the summer. So that's why I picked a Friday, Saturday. So you can travel in on Thursday, have time to relax. Even if you take the very last flight in, you're going to get in at 10:30 here. The hotel is 5 minutes from the airport. So know that. But we have like a 5:15 a.m. flight. I think we have maybe a 1:30 2 o'clock flight, and then we have I think we have 3 flights in the summertime. I don't know. It changes seasonally. But we have a few flights in, we have a few flights out. One very early, one very late arrival. So I just wanted you to have options to get in and out. If you find yourself in a situation where you need a ride, you can call me. We can pick you up at the Sheridan Airport and bring you to the Ramada. Nancy will be up here. I'll be here. Nancy will be here. I'll be here. My friend Amy will be here. McKenna will be here. Emma will be here. My mom, though my mom really isn't driving that much anymore. But, there's plenty of us to be around. I can give you help. We have one taxi cab. They're super nice guys, but there's one. All right. And everything's walkable once you get to the Walmart is literally across the street from the hotel. Albertsons, other food places are all right there. And they've got a nice little restaurant in the hotel. But Friday, Saturday, we're going to give you 24 solid hours of stitching. So 9 to 9. And then we will curate the day. So we won't start our retreat activities until after 10 a.m. and we will not do retreat activities after 5. I think I've asked for lunch to be served around 11:30 and dinner or supper to be served around 5:30. So that gives you plenty of time to adjust to if you want to step away, if you want to go down to the yarn shop, we've got a fabulous yarn shop in town. If you want to pop over to the Quilt Fix, fabulous quilt store in town. If you want to go walk downtown, our downtown is amazing. So, it's a fun little place. So I wanted you to be able to either come in and relax, stay an extra day if you wanted to. Downtown Sunday is shut down. This is a sleepy little town. On Sunday, there's not a whole lot open, and that's okay. I like it that way, but I just wanted to give you options. So that's why we picked Friday, Saturday. The cost is $275. That does include the retreat fees and then dinner and lunch and supper both days. So if you don't want to eat them, that's fine. We still have to pay for you to be here, and I had to plan for you to eat those meals. So up to you, but I did plan for you to be here. We also have the Emporium Day Camp going on. Now, what is the Emporium Day Camp? We have some husbands who are tagging along. I don't know if they're coming for extended, because they're going to extend their vacation and this is just a 2-day stop for them. But Steve and Jeremy always kind of felt like Amy and I come back, and Nancy, we all come back and we're like, Now, my brother-in-law is a deputy sheriff over in Gillette. He doesn't get his calendar's not as free, but Jeremy and Steve have already taken the weekend off, and they are going to be here at the Cross Stitch Emporium, my shop, in the pole barn on the man side. The shop will be open. Emma's going to be out here, but the man side is going to be busy. Steve's got brisket, smoking meat. We'll have our 4-wheelers out. You can be on the 4-wheelers on the dirt roads. You cannot be on the 4-wheelers, but we've got a pretty good dirt road between here and the mountain. They might figure out a little excursion up Red Grade if anyone's interested. So the day camp is a place where Steve's even talking about fishing. I don't really understand that, but if you're interested, I just need to know if your spouse is interested in the Emporium Day Camp, and it's not one of those things I have to sign up for and they have to be here. It does not cost extra. Steve's just planning fun things to do out here by the house while we're in town. And I'm excited for that. I don't know why my husband's outside with the cable dudes, but they're out there doing their thing. All right. So if you're interested if you are interested, you can send me an email. You can pop on into the www.thecrossstitchemporium.com. Type in 307 in the search button, scroll down to the bottom, and it will take you to the page, and then it'll take you to the restoration link. If you can't find it, it's okay. Just send me a note and I will send it to you. All right. Let's talk about all the places that I will be this summer. I say summer because, when the snow flies and the roads are bad, I don't really want to be pulling the van or pulling the trailer through the woods, right? So I'm going to say it. So, but the Fun One retreat, that is in April. It's in Hot Springs. My friend Debbie is overseeing that one, and I'm very excited. She's in a historic building downtown. I think it's a historic hotel. Hot Springs, South Dakota. It's great. Hot Springs is because there's hot springs there. You can go soak in the springs. So that's exciting. I think I'm going to bring my suit. I think maybe I'll try to carve some time out for my husband and I to go do that. Steve's coming with me on that one. It'll be his first retreat in a box with me. My husband's a very direct contract, get things done. I bring the gray to our relationship. You just need to know that. So it's going to be a great time as we figure out how to work together at this. I'm going to the Rapid City Quilt Show. That's in June, the beginning of June. So there's about 30 days between the two events. Not a lot of time to get in fabric and floss on a reorder. So I've got to kind of get things like that thought about. Then, less than 30 days after that is a 307 Stitch, which is my shop here. It's my retreat here. So we've got some fun things planned. I'm super excited about that. Then less than 30 days after that, I'm going to Kearney, Nebraska to Stitching on the Prairie. My friend Shelly, Prairie Fire Stitcher, she is hosting it's the second time I'll be at that retreat. Remember, she was my first time, and now she's brought me back again. I mean, I'm going to the retreat too, but I'm going to bring the shop so that we have a LNS there. And then I've got Stitching on the Range. There's a little bit of time between there, but there's also Market. So we'll have a fresh set of stitches out of Market, online Market. And then the Northwest Stitchers Retreat, which is the retreat that's being held up in Kalispell the first weekend in October. So that's where I will be with my shop in a box. My dog's tummy's growling. I hope you didn't hear that. That was crazy. All right, let's talk about what I've been stitching. Yeah, let's talk about what I've been stitching. Where to put that? Oh no, I gotta remember to do two things. Well, let's just do the two things now. So if you're not interested in what I've been stitching, you don't have to stay. All right. In the seed is an apple you can't see yet. Honestly, I think it's important. I think it's important to take chances. You never know what's going to bloom. You never know what might happen. I started throwing wildflower seeds out along our fence line. And in doing so, I've gotten some beautiful flowers along my fence line. So I'm hoping this construction will get done soon and I can make sure that I get my weed whacked so my flowers will bloom. But you don't know. You don't know what's going to become. So nurture. It's important to nurture. It's important to give. All right. I don't know what that was. All right. And then last thing, I am going to curate a kit for the winner of this question. It'll record. I will have pictures. I will show you. I want you to guess the weight of product I'm bringing home from Market. It's the weight, not the cost. How much is the product I'm bringing home going to weigh? And that will be everything. And how am I going to do this? Well, going to Market, I will have my carry-on suitcase inside my big suitcase, and I'm going to just, of course, ship it, right? So last year that was 37 pounds. And then coming home, I had my carry-on and my big suitcase, and it was packed to the rim. And I honestly thought, anyways, there was a fun distribution. So I will know what my suitcase is going home, and then I'm going to add the weight of the two suitcases coming back home. Or wait, it'll make sense. when I get on the airplane Thursday morning, I'll have a weight of my luggage, and that will be the start weight. Coming home on Monday, I will have the weight of my 2 luggages. And potentially if I have to mail anything, but I don't think I will. I'll have that weight coming back. I will subtract Thursday weight from Monday weight, and that will be the pound that you have to be the closest to. All right, so I'm going to let this roll for about a week, because I'm not probably going to be able to jump right back on once I get back from market. I'll probably wait until Thursday or Friday, and then I'll jump back on. So you have until next Thursday, we'll say next Thursday at the latest, till I post the next video, to guess the weight of product I'm bringing home. Closest one wins. I will take it from the comments below. You have to be a subscriber, and you have to like my video. And I will curate a kit for you. Project bag and all. All right, that's it. Okay, that's all the shop update. Let's talk about my stitching. I've got a stack over here, and I really want to talk about the stack because this is why I wanted to own a shop. I wanted to own a shop because I wanted to be able to do things my way. Guys, don't get me wrong. Designers have beautiful patterns. They have beautiful colors. But sometimes the colors just don't make me happy. Sometimes the stitch is just too big for me to want to stitch. All right? Some things I'm stitching them all. So here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to talk about my stitching and what I have going on. All right, the first one on the docket is Henny Penny. This is a Stacy Nash. It's a project bag made by me. But this is Stacy Nash, released last year. This is the second animal cracker that I felt compelled to do. The first one I did because it was my name. The second one, it's a chicken, guys. I love her. I just love her. And I am going to do this needle roll. I'm hoping I have enough fabric. I should. We'll have to measure it, but I think I do. All right, but how do I want to think about this? Why have I stopped? I stopped because this is a lot of stitching, and you got to count. And I had to rip it all out once. So I'm on my second take. But she's going to be fabulous fill-in. So I'm going to get this part done. And this will probably be the stitch I will be working on when I go to the Fun One Stitcher, the Fun One Retreat in April. She needs to get done. The other thing that stopped me dead in my tracks is when I pulled the colors, I'm 100% sure this is not enough linen. That's the color. It's Weeks Dye Works linen. 100% sure that's not enough linen to do her entire body. She's got some big breasts, guys. She's a big breasted chicken. So I thought, let me think about that. And I really want her to be a white chicken, like not an ecru chicken. So I went to my stash. And for whatever reason, somewhere in my life, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 skeins of, was it whitewash? Whitewash in my personal stash. I did not come over here to the floss wall. This is my personal stash. So if you look at the color linen versus whitewash, linen has a little, of course, is a little more brown in it. I don't know if you can really tell. Let's see if we can figure that out. Oh, you can really tell. I feel like you can tell. There. See, the top one is linen. The rest is whitewash. I like the whitewash. So I'm going to use, I'll probably stitch the linen in her small dots in her apron, but Oh Penny is going to be whitewash, and I'm excited. So I've got that now under personal consent. I'm going to do it. So this is my goal. I don't know that I'll get her done at that retreat, but I'm definitely going to, have a proper start on her. Did I miss that stitch? No. just a weird stitch. That was in her foot. I had a weird stitch in her foot. All right. I also want to shout out Abigail. She's the goat that Stacey Nash released at market. I think Abigail's going to be fabulous. So that's my, oh, sorry, that's the rough bit. Penny Penny. Let me make sure I'm not got, let me make sure I put these in the right order. There we go. All right, Penny Penny. Oh, this is my new start. I started this Sunday. I went to Shepherd's Bush in end of January. It was the best, guys. It was the best. It was a little overwhelming for me. I think I've said that. It's very overwhelming, but I was like, well, let me check. So this is my bag. This is a bag stitched. Is this my bag from Debbie, or is this my bag from, I think this is my Debbie bag. Becky, not Debbie. No, maybe my friend Debbie stitched it. All right, Deb, the Rhode Island Deb, my friend Becky Stevens, they're both vendors at my retreat. And one of them stitched this for me. Well, not for me, but they made it, I stitched it. Maybe it's Becky, because Becky does not mark her bags. Maybe it's Deb, because I know Deb doesn't do it either. I don't know which one did it. It's a fabulous bag. It's Tulip Pink fabric. She's my favorite. But Spring Hair from La Di Da. This is also why I think it's important to know your style, right? And your style is going to change. Let's just be fair. Your style will change. But this is Toe Beans. And I love it. I don't like pink. This just reminds me of spring. It makes me happy. So this color is the called for color. I did want to be true to that part of the chart, but I just didn't want brown on brown on brown because it's spring. It's happy. And this chart was published back in 2013. So we've changed. Style has changed, but the pattern is fabulous. That bunny was not going to go out of style. So how do I think about it? You ready? This is how I'm thinking about it. I'm adding color. So I'm going to do the A in blue because that's our last name. I'm going to do the bow tie in blue. I'm going to sprinkle these two pinks. They do not match. I mean, they don't. This pink and these two pinks are fine together. So, and if not, I'll go find two different pinks. The rest of the alphabet are going to be done in these. And then my little blue dots are going to be a variety of all three. Anyways, she's a super fast stitch. So you necessarily don't have, if you don't want to do the border, don't do the border. I mean, it's just 115, 115, 115, 115, 113, 113, 113, 113. It's kind of mindless once you got your 115 blocked out, but I mean, once you did the outside row, it's just one in and do the inside row. That literally took me like an hour and a half last night to finish all that. I started at Sunday. Yeah, yesterday was Monday. Yeah, started at Sunday. Did not work on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. We spent a lot of time out in the pole barn. I said if they're not out there, I'll run out and do a quick video. And then this was an adventure. I was awake early this morning and I couldn't go back to sleep. So I got up and I stitched and I had this little foot done. I missed a row here. I added a row here. So They didn't line up. So there's lots of frogging going on this morning, but I'm back on track. I've clearly marked where I'm supposed to start and stop. So this is La-Di-Da spring hair. I saw somebody stitch this, pull it out of their wet pile last year, maybe a year before, and I fell in love with it. And then when this fabric presented itself, it's a Bestitch Me fabric. I do carry it in the shop. I will keep this one probably. This one and Amanda are the two pinks that I kind of like to keep in stock. Amanda is by Grace Notes, and that's on the order that'll be coming probably a little bit after market. But so anyways, I think toe beans is a good solid color. I'm also excited to go see what fabrics will be offered at market too. Atomic Ranch, I'm well established with. Bestitch Me, I'm in her monthly club. I might consider adding Grace Notes as a monthly club. I haven't quite bit the bullet yet because I'm trying to gauge on how much fabric I need. I'm telling you guys, if you're stitch 32, I got plenty. If you stitch 36, maybe. You guys are some Aida people. I like it. But I'm learning I gotta stock up on Aida faster than I have to stock up on linen. All right, the other stitch that I've got 3 here that I'm working on is The Lord's Prayer by Leela Studio. I'm currently out of this chart in the shop, but I will be ordering more because it's one that I think I'll keep in stock for probably a little bit longer. I love it. I did pick a Cedar River Overcast. I picked Overcast by Cedar River as my linen. It's just one that I had in stock. I've got a pretty good stock of Jody's fabric that I've just purchased because I love her fabric. And I know we've talked about this before, but I wanted to make sure that I had enough. So I just stitched my border matched. I did not have to play border chicken. I am using the DMC conversion, and I'm going to make one change, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. And I'm just keeping the colors how they are. Make sure I get that in the camera. I hope so. Anyways, this is my thread a day. I feel like I'm watching my friend Jody, and not Jody Cedar River, Jody out of Michigan. She loves purple. Most of you guys are her friend. She's a well-known stitcher on Instagram and Facebook. Jody, what is your... I've gotten gifts. Jody's Creative Studio. Oh, Jody, I'm sorry. That's what I get for going off the cuff and not make sure I have names correct. That makes me angry. That's a novice mistake and I should know better. But Jody pulled this out. She said she was going to start working on it, and I'm watching her work on it. I had this like right here, and I was working on it, and then I'm kind of nervous that I didn't count. I did count off right. I counted them. They are correct. But I was nervous, so I pulled it out of the hoop, and I'm probably just going to let it rest until I get back, and then I'll pick it back up. I'm trying to decide whether I just do this all the way around and then just work on the motifs. I don't know. It's probably wise that I do that, and then I'll know where I'm wrong. Because I'm only like, on the chart wise, I'm only about here on this green. So, but I'm using the DMC. I did not get I think she calls for MPI. Oh. Silks. Avera Swa Silks. Yeah, I'm doing DMC. My thread a day. I'm doing DMC. I like it. I like the colors in it. And this is a farmhouse needleworks bag that I got when I was down in Florida at my friend Alicia's Stitch Florida retreat. I really wish I could go back to Stitch Florida. It just wasn't in the cards for me this year. My friend Alicia puts on a great retreat. Florida's a great place to go visit. It is June in Florida. It will be warm. But you're inside, you're stitching, right? So I don't know if she has spots left in her retreat or not. If not, just get a hold of the fanciful flamingo, my friend Alicia, and ask her. I'm sure she has some seeds left. I say I'm sure. I have no idea. But I know Alicia is pretty good about making sure stitches are taken care of. So, all right, this one. This one is near and dear to my heart. This is lit by, oh, hang on. I got two attached here. This is lit by the Artsy Housewife. Excuse me. I made some changes, guys. Of course I did. Here's the pattern. This is a couple of years ago. Gigi is a really good, this, 24, yeah. So I got this from Lindy Stitches stuff when her and she showed it on her Frosty one day. It was before I even thought about having a store. And I'm like, I need this in my life. And so when I got it, my husband got very excited because we love the big sea bulbs. So he's like, oh, are you stitching that for my space? And I said, of course. I don't know if I was or not, but you know, he wanted it. So I said, yes, honey, you can have that in your space. Then I was sitting there in my room, which is the room next to this one on the other side of this wall. And I was kitting it up. And I kitted it using the DMC. I did not do, she originally kits it up in overdyes. Yeah, Classic and Gentle Arts. I just went with DMC. But when he came in my room, I was going with something a little different. But he saw this fabric and he loves it. He loves this fabric. He's like, oh, will you stitch it on that? And I went, of course. And it wasn't one I had picked. It was just out because I was digging through my stacks. This is a 28 count Lugana. It's a 28 count even weave. It's a Bestitch Me, maybe Gold Rush. I don't think I wrote it down. Oh, I did. Oh, I did write it down. Yeah, Gold Rush. So I pulled extra floss because I was pretty sure like these antlers were going to take a lot. And oh, by the way, remember at one point in time, if you watched the Boozy Stitchers, I literally had the top half of this done and I was wrong. I had to pull it all out. I was like, I think I was like right here. And I realized that instead of starting up here correctly, I started it like over too far. And so I just wasn't paying attention. So by the time I realized I made the mistake, like you're going to get a half a deer head in here. So forget it, right? So I picked this back up last November to work on it. I took it with me to stitching in the Smokies, Stacy Clark's retreat, which I am going back to this year on vacation. I'm so excited. Steve's going with me, Amy's going, Jeremy's going, and our friend Shelly and her husband is going. They're going to join us. So Nancy can't go because of school. You know, I can't wait for my sister to retire and not have to drive a school bus. She loves driving the school bus. She's really good at her job. Loves those children. Really inconvenient for her sister's travel time is what that is. But I finished the border. I started down here, and this was mostly my December stitching right here. Since then, I have pulled it out and I have finished. Oh yeah, that's right. I finished this. No, this was done. I finished this, and I'm up in here. And so I've just been keeping this downstairs. When we watch TV downstairs, meaning what my husband watches, I just sit down there and stitch. Yeah, I'm hoping. The antlers go by really fast in my mind. Pardon me. But the changes I made were I changed the sea bulb colors. So here you'll see Gigi has got them in red, pink, and blue, and yellow. Red, pink, blue, and yellow. We like the sea bulbs. I like the bright sea bulbs. So I went to my stash and I pulled, because I did not want it to look cartoony. My first pull was pretty cartoony. These are the colors. This is the pink. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Drew used to say that. I don't like it. Like, your face is going to freeze. You have to try. I pulled Cottage Garden threads. I've got Charred Pumpkin, Gilt, and Elderberry. This is like my favorite blue in the world to stitch with, Elderberry. And then for the greens, I picked Hunter from Weeks and Louisiana Hot Sauce from Weeks. I needed them not to look like a cartoon. I needed some dirt to them, and that's what they're just a little duller than had I gone with the vibrant colors. So, and they're working perfect in my mind. I don't feel like they look like kindergarten Crayola. I'll show you one more time. I feel like they look like sea bulbs. Just a little bit dingier in their color than had I picked like the vibrant primary colors. So he's going to get put back on the hoop, or back on my Q-snap, and taken back downstairs. I don't know if we're watching TV tonight or not. I don't know what my husband's doing. He's been spending a lot of time in that pole barn, painting and whatnot. So I don't know what he's doing this weekend. I hope he's doing the floors, because I need those floors done so that I can move out of this space and into my space. I think my son's girlfriend's coming home with him for spring break. I need a spare room to give to her, because who wants to sleep in an air mattress in a house you don't know? Well, Drew will be sleeping on the air mattress. She'll get his bedroom, but... All right, and last thing I've been working on, and I don't sell any of this in my shop, but it's my personal stitching, and I just wanted to talk about being brave, asking questions and being brave. So my friend Leslie, I know I've talked about Leslie before. She happens to be, she works with my husband, and so I get to spend a couple days with her usually. Whenever I go back to Ohio, I make a point to stitch. And so she one year, I don't know, it was a few years back, she said, "Will you come to my house?" I was like, "Oh, I'd love to." And we got to just to sit, and we spent part of the day at Beaver Creek Arts and Crafts. It's in Beaver Creek, Ohio. So we spent part of the day there, then we went to her house, and then Steve and her husband came home, and we ordered takeout, and we just hung out. But she pulled out this pub. It's called A Peacock, a Unicorn, and a Badger. And then I went down a whole rabbit hole of, seeing other people stitch it. I learned about Roxy Flosco. I learned about Evertote. I don't know, sometimes you just need somebody to say, "What about?" You right? And and take the time to learn. Take the time to just explore. And that's what I love about the internet. That's also what I hate about the internet, because I will be down a rabbit hole fast. But I decided I didn't want to stitch the green. I love Leslie's. Leslie's looks like a tapestry. But I was 100% sure that green fill-in would have been the death of me. And guys, this is no small stitch. This stitch goes from, it's like 300 and some odd stitches. No, it's more than, I'll tell you in a minute. That's how wide this is. All this, had I decided to do the green fill-in, is right here. Like, just look at how much green that is. That's just the first page. But when I started researching, I realized that Carrie from Roxy Flosco, she's the owner and dyer, did this thing called a pub crawl. Now, we are big fans of the United Kingdom. And we love going over. I say love going over. We've been over a few times now, but we love going to the pub. We love going to the pub. We love sitting there. We love the friendly. We like the way the barkeeps tend to know, the servers tend to know the people. They make you feel welcomed. So being part of the pub crawl is literally a pub crawl, meaning I thought they just went from pub to pub. No, this is a peacock, a unicorn, and a badger. That's what pub stands for. I didn't know. And you want to know what's hilarious? is I think Caroline from Evertote was on. She was in our comment. I think it was either her or Carrie. They're like, Jen. I was like, oh, first of all, I was fangirling that she even watched our floss tube that time. I don't know, maybe she just ran across it, but. And I got the, okay, so here's the story. This is a keeper from my friend Carrie Tiger Lily. It's a Tiger Lily keeper. She made these from old handkerchiefs, and I was a horrible person. No, I was not a horrible person, but I sent her a text. I'm like, I'm traveling. I don't know if I'll be able to I don't even know what time zone I'm going to be in when your keepers go live. Can you just set one back for me? I promise to pay you. Anyways, I got one. But this is the color. These are all Roxy. So this is a Hannah. I think it's a Hannah conversion. Hannah works for Caroline and Carrie, and this is her take on the DMCs. So in this, ooh, sorry, that was a chart. Get it right. Okay. I spiral bound this because I knew that I was already wearing the thing free, or I was already wearing the edge. Like I knew it was going to fall apart. So I went ahead and asked her, I went ahead and took it to like Office Max and had them spiral bound it. I think it was the kids' first time doing it. It's not very straight. It kind of drives me crazy, but it's holding. I also, because I kept miscounting this peacock, made a photocopy and glued that section together so the peacock would come out whole. I'm doing a really good job of reading just the chart and I've not photocopied this whole thing. But I did need to photocopy the peacock because he wasn't matching up. I couldn't get him to work. It's fine. It's 350 stitches. That's how wide it is. It's 350 by, it'll tell me right here. Oh, it's 320 by 340. Then why does that say 350? Oh, that doesn't make sense. It's got to be a typo. Dimensions are 320 by 340. It's 315 by 350. I have no idea. I don't know. No idea. Anyways, a scarlet letter. The peak. So you've probably watched Holly from Hollies of Hobby. You've probably watched Carrie from Tiger Lily. You've probably watched the Curious Stitcher. I don't know. Until my friend Leslie showed me her pub. A peacock, a unicorn, a badger. I didn't know about it. But now I see it everywhere and I love it. But, all right, so here's true confessions. I watched my friend Holly stitching it. So she's doing hers on 40 count. Hobbies of Holly is doing same fabric. We're doing it on the exact same fabric. She's doing hers on 40 count and she's using DMC. I'm using 36 count. I'm using Roxy Floss Co. on pub. We're both doing stitching it on pub. I've got hers looks brighter with the DMC. Mine, it's just a little duller. Is that a word? Duller? It's dull. It's more dull. It's duller. Okay, don't grade me on my English today. Like I said, I've been up since 3. So I seriously thought about taking this out and restarting it. And my husband said, I thought that was going down in the bar, which is what we call our basement family room. We always say we're going down to the bar, because it has a bar in it. His bar, that's where he stores his whiskey. And I was like, it is. He's like, I like this. Do not change it. He's right. He's right. He's not changing it. So I've had him out. I'm working on him. It's my husband's birthday month. I will. Uh-oh. Hang on. Did I pull a thread there? No. Oh, it's the way the color is. Never mind. So he's going to stay out. I'll keep him off the hoop till I get back from market. I need to cut it. The funny thing is too, is I was afraid to cut it. I was going to go ahead and do all these stitches down and then cut. But, sorry, I'm showing my fingernail. But I'm not going to cut it. I also think maybe, I'm trying to figure out scroll rods. Because I would like to put this on some scroll rods, I think. But I can't find scroll rods that are long enough. I don't know. I don't know anything about scroll rods, guys. I'm learning. I talked to my friend Shelly about scroll rods. I talked to my friend Jane about scroll rods. I've had lots of conversations about scroll rods. I have one project on a scroll rod and I just can't commit to them. I think it's because I don't have anything to hold the scroll rod with. And to me, it's awkward. So I'm hoping that when I get out to the shop, that I will have time. So I'm smart about things so that if you come to the shop or if you call and ask me questions, I can answer. So that's where I'm at. All right. That's my stitching. I'll probably keep working on La-Di-Da. I am very interested in what I might pick to start from market. Like, what is my market pick? What is going to be the thing? I've been pretty good up until now. I'm working on Hands-On Designs Ornament Club. Excuse me. I'm working on that. So the new one from March is out, but that takes like a day or two to stitch. I need to finish my Santa. I need to fully finish my Santa. But I was kind of hoping that I'd have like some finishing days out in the shop when I finally, because like I said, I've got 2 months before I can actually, I think it's about 2 months before I can actually start. So I'll be open for business, but I still need to be out there. And so instead of being in here, I'll be out there. So I'll take projects out there. But yeah, so much going on. I've been here an hour. This is usually way longer than I usually talk on these videos, but I think I just needed to be here. I needed to be with you. So remember, if you are interested in a full kit, I don't know what it'll be. I'm not going to promise anything. I might find something amazing at market that I'll just share, or I don't know. I haven't got there yet. But if you are willing to gamble and if you are interested, guess the weight of the product that I'm bringing home. And I will tell you next week and I will have the winner. And I'll go with, if there's 2 people that guess the same weight, I will go with the person who posted first. And I can tell that on YouTube Studio. So, all right, I'm going to run out. If no one is out there, we're going to go out and take a look at the pole barn, see what we've got going on, and then we'll be back. All right, here we are outside my back door. That's the mountain. That's the mountains. That's the view of the Bighorns. Those are our mountains that we always talk about. This is the pole barn, guys. It's almost there. The concrete is cured or curing. I don't know. They're gonna keep the tarps on it for a few more days, they said. We haven't done any of the groundwork. They owe us gravel and smoothing out the spaces. Our landscaper is going to put a flower bed right there. This is what we call the man side. This is Steve's side, and this is the shop. And I don't know how I'm gonna make a sign, or if I'm gonna have a sign, or how I'm gonna think about all that yet. Like, it's still in the thought process. But it has its own driveway. Never mind the porta-john. They brought that here for the workers. But That's the driveway. This is all the parking we have. It's pretty good. I think we'll bring cars in slanted this way. So we should be at 4 or 5 cars in, no problem in the driveway, and room to back out. Chilly out here. All right, my door. Here she is. Oh my gosh, guys, I can't tell you. This is so exciting. My shop. I have to paint that. That's still today or tomorrow project. The checkout counter will be up here. Probably put a stitching spot up here too, so I can stitch in the shop if there's no one here. After that, I don't know. I just don't know. I have ideas. Like I've got a buffet downstairs that I'm gonna bring up here for drinks and some small stitchy displays. I've got bookshelves. I've got etc., etc., etc. I just can't tell you all the ideas. I think the pride and joy though is this bathroom. Just don't make me giggle, but let's see, turn the lights on. This is mine. There's a couple things that need to be fixed and they'll fix it, but yeah, I've got to find a bookshelf, or I got to find something here to put. So you can set your purse down. I don't really want a bench, but so I gotta think of that. This is my wall of stitches. I'm gonna put small plate shelves in here so that you can, and then I'm gonna put stitches in there. I've got so many fun ideas. But here she is. This is the shop. This is what you can do if you can imagine, believe, and create. This is the type of stuff that you can come up with. This is my husband's side. This back here will be my shipping station, and my big sewing machine, my industrial sewing machine, will go back over here. And then there are no lights on in here. Like, I didn't even turn the lights on over there. That's just all natural sunlight. The lights make it very bright in here. We're gonna have, it's my brother's bar, but he made it, so that's gonna go there. So there'll be a bar. We're gonna put a TV up on the back wall so they can watch football and stuff out here. And then this is just, well, that's our workspace, but this is workspace for us. And this is our, this is a garage door. It'll go up and down. If we don't need to be over here, I'll just have it down. But if I'm in here working or Steve's in here, it might be up. You're welcome to be in both spaces. It doesn't bother us. And then this is our utility closet. Got a little stain issue going. All right, this is it. This is a Cross Stitch Emporium, and here's where we're at. All right, if you stuck with me, you just saw the Emporium in its current state. So anyways, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of us. Thanks for making my dreams come true. I also want you to have the confidence to imagine, believe, and create. Because you can. We're artists. In our own right, we are artists. Artists. It's a hard word to say. So please, take the time. Imagine you can do it, believe you can do it, and then do it. And if you don't know how, ask. There are so many of us that are willing to share this talent. So until next time, about a week, we'll see you on the other side of market.